We had a really strong episode of Monday Night Raw tonight. I feel like a lot of good matches, good segments, and it was capped off by a really great tag team match. By the way, just want to shout out the crowd also in Cincinnati. That
lit.
whole
They
show,
were lit.
they were on fire. We need a PLE in Cincinnati ASAP. That shit was awesome. One of the best Raw crowds I've seen in a minute. Like, it felt like a PLE crowd,
They're
which is
fucking
crazy
lit,
because
yeah.
it's just a random episode of Raw. Anyways, that tag team match, especially with that crowd, felt so epic. All the near falls, the interferences, the referee shenanigans, all that shit. And then we finally get to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez
Penny.
are your new
Mini.
women's tag team champions.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Of course, Naomi eats the pin, as per. But I'm going to be honest. When I saw that they were advertising this match, it made sense with the whole feud that had been brewing between...
With the whole Jade card
Yeah,
or whatever.
all of that stuff.
Supposedly they did it,
But I never felt like there was a chance they won the titles, I'm going to be honest. It's just one of those things where it's like, it'll be on Raw, decent little tag team title match, but you just don't expect a title change on a random, not super promoted match. Like, they didn't even have, any promos leading up. Like, obviously, yes, there's been that feud building going into it, but the tag team title match itself was just kind of there. And then they won. So that feels pretty significant to me. It feels like they're not going to do some shit like that for no reason. So I'm looking at this title win, and I'm asking myself, why? Why now? Why put the belts on Liv and Raquel? Maybe more interesting question to ask, why take them off of Bianca and Naomi at this time? I'm wondering if you have any thoughts or opinions on that.
Probably an interesting plot twist here.
I feel like it has to obviously be something coming up in the very near future with Jade.
Some foreshadowing shit.
I would think maybe Elimination Chamber. It just... So where my head goes to, what I started to think about, literally, almost as soon as the match ended, I'm collecting my thoughts, and one of the things that's hitting me is it would make sense to take the belts off of Bianca and Naomi to start building that feud with Jade if it's going to be one of them two involved with it. Because if they're also the tag team champs, but then they get involved with this feud with Jade, it becomes a similar situation like you had with the Judgment Day last year.
Where they just have to drop it or some shit, yeah.
Where they're beefing with Damian Priest and Rhea, the whole Terror Twins situation. But then Finn and JD were also the tag team champs. And so, because they're in another feud that's taking up TV time doing this other shit, they never have time to do any tag team feuds. You know what I mean? So it feels like you take the belts off of Bianca and Naomi, to stir up a little bit of a little tension between the two of them, but then B, more importantly, to free up the tag belts off of them so that they can now get involved into a new storyline, which I would have to imagine is going to be something to do with Jade coming back and going after, as I predicted, Naomi. And yeah, I feel like that's where we go from there. Maybe we get a triple threat at Mania, some sort of one-on-one match depending on who Bianca decides to side with, however that goes. But I guess, to me, this was kind of the bat signal of hey, shit's about to turn up with this Jade storyline. I know you guys thought we forgot it because we didn't mention it for a month and a half. But we're back. And we're gonna start bringing this shit back.
So still, what happened to Jade Cargill?
And we're still wondering what happened because honestly, I'm 1,000% sure, if anything, it wasn't Liv and Raquel.
Yeah, it's not.
Just the way that they've talked about it, obviously when the video shit happened, we still didn't believe
I guess you
it.
could say it to fuck with them. And
but
shit.
Then, yeah, ever since then, just the way they've been acting about it, nothing has made me feel it was them. Nah, I'm not hearing it. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, to me, this is like the moment that let me know. Hopefully, we are finally gonna get some movement on this storyline, and I'm thinking it's gonna be involving Bianca and Naomi, because they now don't got anything else to worry about. They don't got tag team titles to defend. It's time to get them working on some other shit. And I think it's gonna be them trying to figure out what the fuck with Jade. I would love to see at some point in the women's elimination chamber match coming up this weekend a moment where it's Bianca and Naomi teaming up, going up against whoever in the match, and then just out of nowhere a storm is coming and just attacks the ring, somehow finds a way to break into the chamber and just stares them both down, and then goes after Naomi, just starts beating her down. I just think it'd be really awesome. I think the hype would be there, but we will see how it all plays out. But I think it's going to be happening soon. I think that's a safe prediction. We'll see.
Fuck.